You may have heard about the ongoing conflict in Yemen, the Arab world's poorest country. Foreign powers have taken sides among the warring parties, and thousands have been killed in the chaos the UN describes as the world's worst humanitarian crisis. The first spark of the conflict emerged during the Arab uprisings in 2011, when Yemenis protested the country's long-time ruling president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, criticized for causing widespread unemployment and government corruption. But one of the biggest protests came from a politically motivated Shia rebel group called the Houthis, which had been at war with the Saleh government for years. Saleh was toppled and forced to hand over his position to this guy, Abdurrabbu Mansour Hadi, his former vice president, who's since been running the government. Then things got complicated. A UN-sponsored national dialogue was established to address the future of the country, and a new federal system was agreed on. But tensions flared again when a proposal was made to divide Yemen into 6 federal regions. The Houthis and a southern separatist movement called the Harabeye objected to the proposal, saying it was undermining their own distinct interests and national vision. The Hadi government, which seemed like the best solution at the time, wasn't able to maintain order, and groups like Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula and Daesh took advantage of the political instability across the country. In the meantime, the Houthis were also making territorial gains but lacked military power. Their next move came as a surprise. They turned to Saleh, their once sworn enemy, knowing that he still had military forces loyal to him. And Saleh saw this as an opportunity to regain his title, so the two sides collaborated. The Houthis took control of the capital Sana'a and began moving towards Aden, where President Hadi was located. He fled to Saudi Arabia after they seized the airport. Now, the Houthis' advancement was seen as a threat to Riyadh because it says Iran is backing the rebel group, and sharing a long border means stronger Iranian influence could seep into the country. So Saudi Arabia responded to Hadi's pleas and formed a coalition. They set up an air and sea blockade, then it launched an aerial campaign with the aim of driving the Houthis out and restoring the country's internationally recognized government. Local observers in the Yemen Data project say almost a third of the Saudi-led coalition airstrikes have targeted non-military zones, such as marketplaces, schools, hospitals, wedding ceremonies, and even funerals. In the meantime, the United States began carrying out its own campaign in Yemen. Not only was it supplying the Saudi-led coalition with billions of dollars worth of weapons, but also targeting Al-Qaeda and Daesh. By the end of 2017, the tables began to turn. Former President Saleh, who for months allied with the Houthis, offered to put an end to the fight with the Saudi-led coalition. But this move was seen as treacherous by the Houthis, and about 48 hours later, Saleh was found dead outside of Sana'a. The Houthis admitted to killing him. The rebels were now being targeted from all sides, and most of Saleh's supporters became anti-Houthi. Meanwhile, the Hadi government was battling a new enemy, separatist forces in the south, backed militarily and financially by the United Arab Emirates. While the UAE is still part of the Saudi-led coalition, it is said to be continuing efforts to maintain a strategic foothold in the south, crippling the once united campaign against the Houthis. But experts warn it's not just the UAE. All members of the coalition are pursuing their own agendas, and each side of the conflict is said to have violated humanitarian and international law. Getting an accurate death toll is difficult. In 2017, the UN says at least 10,000 Yemenis had died, and to date, that number hasn't been updated. More than 3 million people have been displaced, and millions of Yemenis trapped in the conflict are at dire risk of starvation and disease. So where are we now? President Hadi is based in Saudi Arabia, but his government still operates out of Aden, and the conflict between the separatists, Houthis, and forces loyal to him are still ongoing. So with everyone running their own agendas, will we ever see an end to this war?